Hey YouTubers, Mike Borders with the Mike Borders channel. Thank you for watching. Unfortunately, our jet ski is taking on water, and last week when we were out on the lake, we noticed that it is spraying water down near the drive shaft where the bellow is. So we had to take the jet ski out of the water. It's now in the driveway on the trailer. Let's go to the jet ski, take the cover off, take the seats off, and talk more about the leak. All right, YouTubers, I'm at the jet ski now, and as you can see, I have the front seat and the rear seat and the plastic cover that goes right here, all removed so we can gain much better access to the actual inner portion of the hull where the engine is. As you can see here, battery up front, manifold, engine, and all the way on the back, I want to direct our attention to this portion of the hull right here. That is your drive line. As you can see, a rubber bellow which is clamped on, and then that bellow continues to connect to the actual carbon ring or carbon seal, and that's backed up with the drive shaft support ring and then a clip, and then the drive shaft itself continues out of the drive shaft support ring and then into the engine under this plastic cover right here. So with that said, all of these components of the driveline house your drive shaft. Your drive shaft is inside all of those parts. And once you start the engine, that drive shaft spins at a very high pace. However, there are a few parts that do not spin with the drive shaft. And those parts are the actual rubber bellow, which is that accordion style bellow you see here, as well as the carbon ring or carbon seal that the opposite side of the bellow connects to just underneath that plastic cap. And as I just mentioned, the carbon ring or seal backs up to the drive shaft support ring. That is the part that actually spins with the drive shaft and then is held on by a drive shaft C-clip. So with that said, what I want to do is gain access to that carbon ring, and we need to remove this plastic cover here, which will give us much better access to all of the driveline components and parts. With the cover off, as you can see now, we have a much better view of the carbon ring down here, and that is the darker carbon part that connects to this portion of the bellow, and it backs up to your drive shaft support ring. As you can see here, let me move those wires. That drive shaft support ring is held in place by a C-clip, not allowing any of these parts of the driveline to continue inward toward the engine. And again, this is your drive shaft itself, and this spins at a very fast rate when the engine is running. However, the carbon ring or carbon seal outward toward the actual hull insert does not spin. Those parts stay stationary. So with that said, you want to do a thorough inspection of the actual carbon ring, because as this drive shaft spins with the engine running, it is constantly rubbing on this carbon ring and wearing it down. And over the years of the engine running, this carbon ring will get to a point where it needs to be replaced because it is no longer within the proper specifications or length or measurements that a brand new one was out of the factory. And the opposite side of the carbon ring has a beveled or tapered cut to it, allowing this boot to conveniently connect itself onto the carbon ring or seal and be held in place by that clamp. And as far as the flexibility of this whole portion, you should not be able to move this carbon ring or carbon seal. There may be just a teeny tiny bit of space. However, you will need to put in some muscle to move it. So in the event that yours is pretty firm and stiff, that's a good thing. If your carbon ring is very loose and you can move it without putting any muscle into it, it's time to replace your entire carbon ring. So again, the carbon ring and the accordion bellow, the clamps, the rubber hull insert, all of those stay stationary when the engine is running. The drive shaft support ring, as you can see here, inward into the engine, all of that spins at a very fast rate when the engine is running. In the event that you have a leak somewhere else in this hull and you have standing water in this area, once you turn on the engine, it's going to throw water aggressively all over the place in this area, which may lead you to think that that is where your leak is coming from. However, it's possible that your leak is somewhere else, and just by draining the water out of the hull and then reconnecting the garden hose to it, starting the engine and doing an inspection of this area with the engine running, it's possible that you may not see any leaks and you need to address a different section of the engine and get that leak fixed. And an example would be this exhaust manifold, both the upper manifold and the lower manifold. It's possible that that cast iron pipe has cracked and causing a leak. Now we have a better understanding and familiarization of the actual parts that house the drive shaft itself. Hey, do us a favor, below the video you will see that thumbs up. Click on that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Definitely go to your settings, turn on your YouTube notification bell. Once you do that, every video that we upload, you will be notified. You will be able to stay up to date with us, and that will be awesome. Hey, thanks again for watching.